I don't want
myself.
to give myself up. I want to
Absolutely.
kill those kids.
In the realm of true crime, few cases have captured the imagination and sparked intrigue quite like that of the Zodiac Killer. The Zodiac Killer, a phantom of the night, left a walkway of mysterious notes and unsolved murders in his wake, opposing all attempts to expose his true identity. As we journey into the heart of this chilling mystery, we will unfold the web of intrigue, follow the clues left behind, and confront the darkness that still lingers over this unsolved case. An entire generation was horrified by the name Zodiac Killer.
Zodiac.
He created a state of fear and uncertainty in the San Francisco Bay Area with every pen stroke and gunshot.
A symbol that now stands for terror in San Francisco.
Welcome to the mysterious world of the Zodiac Killer, where reality blurs with nightmare, and every revelation brings us closer to unlocking the secrets that have remained hidden for decades. In the late 1960s, a chilling specter appeared over California, embodied by the mysterious figure known as the Zodiac Killer. This elusive murderer stands as one of the most haunting mysteries in American criminal history. Over a span of 11 months, between December 1968 and October 1969, the Zodiac Killer claimed the lives of at least 5 individuals within the San Francisco Bay Area. His victims, predominantly young couples and lone cab drivers, fell prey to his evil schemes. Though attributed with an overwhelming count of 37 victims by some, the accuracy of these claims remains uncertain, with only one survivor bearing witness to the murderer's elusive presence. The extent of his terror went beyond California, with ties to unresolved cases reaching far and wide. Adding to the intrigue, the Zodiac Killer engaged in a chilling game of cat and mouse with the media and police authorities, taunting them through mysterious letters sent to regional newspapers. Within these letters lay secured codes and riddles, puzzling clues to his twisted motives and identity. Among his chilling letters, there were 4 secret codes designed to be confusing and mysterious. While investigators have managed to decode 2 of these secret codes, the third remained an appealing mystery until as recently as 2020. Yet, the true extent of the secrets buried within these encoded secret codes remains uncertain, leaving many questions unanswered. This documentary aims to solve the tangled web of mystery surrounding the Zodiac Killer, exploring the depths of claims surrounding his true identity, delving into the unsolved puzzles and riddles left in his wake, and examining the numerous suspects that have been scrutinized over the years. In this documentary, we shall explore who was the mysterious person behind the terrifying persona of the Zodiac Killer, what mysteries are concealed within the unsolved puzzles and riddles crafted by the Zodiac Killer. Will the elusive identity of the Zodiac Killer ever be unveiled, shedding light on his real identity, or will it persist as a mysterious riddle for generations to come? The horrific tale began on December 20th, 1968, when the first victims, David Arthur Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen, innocently journeyed to Lake Herman Road near Benicia, California. Following a Christmas concert at Hogan High School, they parked their car in a secluded area known as Lover's Lane, and tragedy struck as their lives were abruptly taken. A neighbor, Stella Borges, found their lifeless bodies, prompting an investigation by Solano County Police. Renowned author Robert Graysmith, delving into the puzzling case, speculated that a second vehicle may have approached the scene, leading to an encounter resulting in the brutal demise of Faraday and Jensen. Despite thorough efforts by the cops, the perpetrator remained elusive. However, the Zodiac Killer's evil journey continued. On the fateful night of July 4th, 1969, Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mago found themselves at Blue Rock Springs Park in Vallejo, near the previous crime scene. As they sat in Ferrin's car, a mysterious vehicle made its presence known, disappearing only to return later, and its driver holding a gun and flashlight. With logical accuracy, the killer released a storm of gunfire upon Ferrin and Majo, causing grave injuries. Miraculously, Majo survived despite sustaining multiple wounds, while Ferrin surrendered to her injuries. A haunting twist emerged when a confession was received by the Vallejo Police Department, linking the killer to the earlier murders of Jensen and Faraday. Despite this revelation, the identity of the Zodiac Killer remained covered in mystery. Survivor accounts provided a glimpse into the perpetrator's physical description: a white male of middle age, with specific attributes including height, weight, and hair color. Yet, the elusive killer remained at large, braiding a weave of terror and uncertainty that gripped the community in its grasp. In the aftermath of the 2 gruesome murders attributed to the Zodiac Killer, a chilling chapter unfolded as the perpetrator reached out to news outlets and police agencies. The initial letter, penned by the elusive killer, bore evil sentiments, expressing pleasure in the act of taking lives. He stated a belief that his victims would become his slaves in the afterlife. Subsequent words, totaling 18 in number, held secret code significance, with one containing a coded message decoded in August 1969. On August 1st, 1969, the Zodiac Killer dispatched nearly identical letters to prominent newspapers, including the Vallejo Times-Herald, San Francisco Chronicle, and San Francisco Examiner. In a daring requirement, he threatened further bloodshed unless the newspapers published his coded messages on their front pages. Surrendering to the pressure, the San Francisco Chronicle partially exposed the 408 symbol code, suspecting its authenticity and urging the Zodiac Killer to provide additional evidence of his identity. Responding to Chief Jackie Stiltz's call for more evidence, the Zodiac Killer, adopting the name for the first time, dispatched a letter to the San Francisco Examiner on August 7, 1969. Within this dialogue, he claimed possession of undisclosed details regarding the murders, challenging authorities to decipher his complex code as a means of concern and suspicion. The breakthrough came when Donald and Betty Hardin successfully cracked the 408 symbol code, revealing a chilling reference to the 1924 tale The Most Dangerous Game and the Zodiac Killer's morbid ambition of collecting slaves for the afterlife. Clearly, there was no mention of Zodiac identity in the secret message, as he cunningly avoided discovery, assuring not to reveal his name to hinder the cops' efforts to detect his intentions. In a complex turn of events, the Zodiac Killer embarked on a new course of action, adding his heinous deeds with elements of intrigue and symbolism to puzzle investigators. The stage for his third murder was set on September 27, 1969, during a relaxed picnic near Lake Berryessa. Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard, the students from Pacific Union College, found themselves captured in the killer's web of terror. Approaching them with an air of planned danger, the killer, described as a white male of large build. He wore an elaborate attire similar to an executioner's hood adorned with clip-on sunglasses. He also put on a bib-like chest piece bearing a distinctive white cross circle emblem. Armed with a .45 caliber gun, he demanded money and their vehicle, articulating intentions of fleeing to Mexico. However, here a question hangs in the air. What underlying analysis and motives are hidden of the Zodiac Killer behind using elaborate clothing and symbolic movements during his third murder? But we shall witness, beneath this facade of robbery lay a deeper, more enigmatic motive. The Zodiac Killer's choice of elaborate clothing and symbolic gestures hinted at a carefully organized performance, designed to puzzle authorities and vague the true intentions behind his barbaric murders. Upon refusing his demands, Hartnell and Shepard fell victim to the killer's wrath, sustaining multiple wounds inflicted by the weapon. Adding a strange touch to the morbid scene, the killer strictly carved the date, time, method of assault, and secret code symbols on Hartnell's car door using a black felt-tip pen, including the signature cross-circle motif synonymous with his previous letters. Despite Shepard's heroic efforts to provide a detailed account of the attacker before surrendering to her injuries, and Hartnell's subsequent testimony to the press, the authorities engaged with the confusing nature of the Zodiac Killer's actions. Despite a confession made over a payphone in Napa, forensic evidence proved uncertain, leaving investigators to solve the tangled web of mystery surrounding the killer's identity and motives. The police agencies fought with the puzzling difficulties of the Zodiac Killer's previous murders. A chilling development unfolded with the commission of his fourth murder. On October 11, 1969, in San Francisco, the Zodiac Killer knocked again, this time targeting cab driver Paul Stine. Entering Stine's cab near Union Square, the killer asked the driver to Presidio Heights. However, at the crossing of Mason and Geary Streets, the encounter took a deadly turn as Stine was shot in the head by the killer, who then fled with the driver's belongings, including his wallet and keys. Witnesses to the crime quickly informed authorities as the killer fled the scene, leaving a trail of chaos in the air. Three attentive youngsters, observing the unfolding tragedy from across the street, immediately contacted the police. Meanwhile, the killer was observed cleaning the cab before disappearing into the night, heading north towards the Presidio. Responding officers Don Fouque and Eric Zelms encountered a potential suspect near the crime scene, but their brief encounter provided only fleeting impressions, as their attention was diverted by conflicting reports regarding the culprit's description over the police radio. Despite noting the individual's estimated age, height, and other factors, the officers were unable to apprehend the suspect. The death of Paul Stine marked the climax of the Zodiac Killer's confirmed murderous spree. A morbid twist occurred when a piece of Stine's shirt, along with a letter claiming responsibility, was dispatched to the newspaper on October 13th, threatening further violence, including targeting students on a bus.
In Zodiac's latest letter last week, he threatened to make a busload of school children his next victims. Since then, school buses have been discreetly guarded, and parents' fears have openly risen.
In the following days, collaboration between young witnesses and a police artist resulted in a detailed sketch of the killer, aiding detectives Dave Toschi and Bill Armstrong in their investigative efforts. Over the ensuing years, the San Francisco Police Department diligently pursued leads, examining approximately 2,500 individuals believed to be potential suspects in the elusive killer's reign of terror. In 1969, the Zodiac Killer emerged, renewing the fear and intrigue with a stir of secret code messages aimed at law enforcement and the public alike. Expressing a confusing satisfaction with the ongoing efforts to capture him, the Zodiac coordinated a series of mysterious letters that puzzled the investigators. On October 22, 1969, a caller claiming to be the Zodiac requested to speak with attorneys Lee Bailey or F. Melvin Belly for a televised discussion.
Talk to us. Just tell us what's going on inside you right now, Sam. Please.
I have headache. How long have you had those headaches, Sam? In a long time? Since I killed a kid. If it all boils down to the question of you're giving yourself up, if you can be assured that you wouldn't get capital punishment for myself. I don't want to give myself up. I want to kill those kids.
Despite their agreement, the caller, identified as mental patient Eric Weil, failed to appear, casting doubt on the authenticity of the encounter. Further complicating matters, a secret code message sent by the Zodiac on November 8th remained unsolved for over 5 decades until a breakthrough in 2020, denying any association with the caller known as Sam. The Zodiac's puzzling words continued, including a 7-page letter dated November 9th, in which he claimed to have communicated with police officers immediately after the murder of Paul Stine. Exactly 1 year after the initial murders, on December 20th, 1969, the Zodiac reached out to Belly, urging him for help and enclosing another article of victim Paul Stine's clothing. Despite numerous suspects and investigations, the elusive killer continued to avoid capture, leaving authorities puzzled by his ability to escape the truth and justice. The exact number of the Zodiac's victims remains uncertain, with estimates varying widely. The killer's liking for taunting authorities with secret code signals and his apparent enjoyment of the following cat and mouse game only enriched the mystery surrounding his identity and motives. The Zodiac's letters continued into April 1970, marked by the delivery of an uncoded secret code and threats of violence, including the potential use of explosives. A 3-year pause followed, broken only by occasional letters, including one in 1974 praising a popular film. In the extensive investigation into the identity of the elusive Zodiac killer, one name consistently emerged as a prime suspect: Arthur Leigh Allen, a deceased individual whose association with the case was marked by an excess of circumstantial evidence. However, amidst growing theories and suspicions, the question emerges: was Arthur Leigh Allen truly the mysterious Zodiac killer, or merely a convenient target in a case destined to remain unsolved? Over a span of more than 2 decades, Allen found himself at the center of multiple search warrants and police inquiries, with detectives increasingly focusing on him as the most potential suspect. Yet, despite the presence of circumstantial evidence, the case against Allen remained inconclusive, as admitted by Detective Dave Toschi, one of the lead investigators, in 2010. Toschi's daughter further revealed that her father held personal beliefs regarding Allen's guilt, but lacked solid evidence to confirm them. Mark Ruffalo, who portrayed Toschi in the film Zodiac, shed light on the detective's initial certainty upon meeting Allen, yet noted the absence of definitive proof linking him to the crimes. Living in close proximity to one of the Zodiac's victims and crime scenes, Allen's whereabouts and behavior raised red flags for investigators. An essential moment occurred when Allen's friend, Donald Cheney, came forward in 1971, alleging that Allen had expressed intentions of committing murder under the guise of the Zodiac persona. Law enforcement agencies traced his dismissal from a teaching position in March 1968, following allegations of sexual misconduct with students, as recounted by Vallejo Police Department member Jack Melanex. In 1971, Allen faced questioning by the police. Subsequently, in September 1972, the San Francisco Police Department obtained a search warrant for Allen's residence. Later in 1974, Allen was arrested and convicted of sexually abusing a 12-year-old boy, resulting in a 2-year prison sentence. Further examination of Allen's home occurred in February 1991, and again 2 days after his death in 1992. During investigations, Mike Mago, a Zodiac victim, identified Allen from a lineup photo in July 1992. Additional evidence included a letter penned by the killer of Bates, bearing similarities to Allen's typewriter and wristwatch Zodiac insignia. Despite this, DNA testing in 2002 failed to link Allen to the Zodiac's genetic profile found on stamps and envelopes. Moreover, comparisons between Allen's DNA and that of his friend Don Cheney provided no matches. Handwriting analysis by retired expert Lloyd Cunningham also failed to connect Allen to the Zodiac's writing. In April 2004, the San Francisco Police Department suspended active investigation into the Zodiac case, only to resume it before March 2007. The investigation remains ongoing in Riverside and Napa County. In May 2018, the Vallejo Police Department announced plans to obtain DNA from the Zodiac's letter stamps, though no results had been disclosed as of December 2019. In spite of these efforts, the case files remain open with the California Department of Justice since 19 1969, marking the enduring mystery surrounding the identity of the Zodiac Killer. Regardless of the weight of allegations surrounding Arthur Leigh Allen and the forceful circumstantial evidence implicating him, the case ultimately remained shrouded in ambiguity, leaving the true identity of the Zodiac Killer to linger as one of the most enduring mysteries in criminal history. While the Zodiac Killer story is still unfolding, one troubling question lingers, casting a deep curiosity and long shadows over the human psyche. Who was the actual perpetrator behind the persona of the Zodiac Killer? Despite numerous theories, speculations, and years of research, the true identity of this elusive predator remains shrouded in mystery. A generation's collective psyche was forever altered by the Zodiac's chilling taunts, grisly murders, and cryptic messages, contributing to an atmosphere of terror and suspicion. The haunting legacy of his crimes continued to echo through the streets of California. The documentary's exploration of the essence of evil and the unraveling of the mystery behind the Zodiac's horrors revealed that the full truth may never be known. However, there is still a glimmer of hope that one day the truth will come to light and justice will prevail. Yet, as time passes, the whispers of the past begin to fade, and the enigmatic figure of the Zodiac Killer remains a haunting mystery, forever ingrained in the annals of history. The Zodiac Killer's legacy lives on in the unanswered questions, undeciphered codes, and the relentless pursuit of truth and justice. As this chilling story comes to an end, one thing is certain: the Zodiac Killer will always linger in the shadowy corners of California's past, haunting our dreams and leaving us to ponder whether the case will ever be solved or whether it will always remain covered in mystery.